Today we're gonna talk about if the Tower of God characters, the cast of Tower of God, had Pokemon typings. This isn't every single character, so if you have an idea for a character who's not on this list, let me know in the comments. I think Bomb would be a water and dark type. My reasoning behind this is that Bomb uses Shinsu, and that Shinsu looks very watery. He always uses that classic Hansung water type Shinsu, you know? You rarely ever see Bomb use a Shinsu that's not, depicted like that, but when you do, it's a dark type Shinsu, right? The dark orb when he's fighting White, or when he's fighting Data Jaha and he discovers his own power, it's this like dark type Shinsu. Water dark fits for me, I don't know, but if you had to put in another type, fighting would also work, but I think because Bomb is a wave controller, he's gotta be water dark. Kun would be an ice psychic type. The ice is obvious, the ice spears and everything, but I think the psychic type fits a lot of light bearers in the story. You can teleport and slow down people with the lighthouses, and Kun of course has Aina Core, which is a very psychic type ability. Rock is a rock type. Rock is a rock type. Rack is a rock type. I keep saying rock is a rack. Rack's a rock type, but I also think Rack would be a dragon type, and my reasoning behind this is that he is an ancient one, or he's a descendant of the ancient or related. We don't really know the details. It's confusing, I'm not gonna lie. And although that doesn't directly relate to dragon type in Pokemon is much more mysterious and mythical, and I just feel like that fits someone like Rack. He's an alligator, which also is very closely related to a dragon. There's even some panels in early season 1 where we see Rack like comedically breathing fire. I just feel like the dragon type fits Rack a lot, so rock dragon for Rack. Endorsee, all right, this one I thought a little bit about. I think Endorsee would be fairy flying type. I also could see fighting type, but I think fairy flying because of the Bong Bong. And all of her heart-shaped attacks, it's like, dude, she was made to be a fairy Pokemon. Fairy type is obvious, but I think the flying type also fits because she's using the Bong Bong to fly around all the time. She is the party's like teleport machine. And when she's fighting Baragov, that's how she defeats him, by flying super high into the air and dropping him. Shibisu! Shibisu's a normal type. And then we get to Hots. Now, this is gonna seem weird, but I think Hots would be normal Steel. Steel for the sword and all the sword techniques he has. I think Steel works, because I just feel like even if he's not made of steel, it just works. Just because he has the sword, he can use steel type attacks and whatever. But I also think the normal type fits because he really is just a normal kid. He's the son of a blacksmith who took up the sword, but I feel like he still has that weighing on him. The fact that he's a normal person. I think normal steel works weirdly well for Hots. It does mean that if someone with a fighting type fights Hots, he's done, bro, he's done. Iwa, ooh, this is gonna be a hard one. Fire, moving on. Ron would be an electric type. I was trying to think if he'd have an extra type, but I think him and Iwa, they're the pure, Pokemon typing. Like, Iwa is just pure flame, and Ron is just pure electricity. Shia would be normal psychic. Again, she's kind of normal, a normal person, and I feel like the animal aesthetic kind of lends her the normal typing. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm thinking of Baneri or something. But again, Lightbearer being a psychic type, I think that just works. Karaka is the one, I think the most obvious one on this list. This one I didn't have to hesitate. Karaka is Dark Steel. I mean, come on, bro. Dark Steel. He's got the Dark Shinsu, the Shinsu black holes and everything, plus he's made of the steel armor. He has the steel armor covering his body. It just works, bro. Dark Steel, it fits way too well. Hansung Yu, I was thinking water and fighting. Now, the fighting type might seem a bit strange, and I could see myself getting rid of it and making him just pure water, but we did see that Hansung has a lot of martial arts moves that he has up his sleeve, or at least a little bit. I'm basing it off of the one panel where he's fighting Mayor, but still, I feel like, you gotta give Hansung some credit. This one, I'll say water fighting. You know what, scratch it. I think it fits better for him just to be a pure water type, and I think pure water. You know what? I changed my mind because Hansung is the Shinsu master, you know what I mean? And even though he can fight, it's like, so can Bomb, but I feel like you don't have to include fighting type in every single person who can fight because that's everyone. But then we get to Jinsung Ha. Now, Jinsung Ha, he has the Dragon Tiger Gate and everything, but that being said, he's a pure fighting type. He's a pure fighting type who maybe can use a dragon type move or a whatever type move, but I gotta say, Jinsung is the embodiment of a pure fighting type. Dowan is a pure grass type. I thought about fairy. You could maybe tack fairy onto there as well if you wanted to, but I don't know. I think she's a pure grass type because she's all about the flowers, Flower this, flower that, forget me not. and I don't really see the fairy. She just looks like she'd be a fairy, but that's the only reason I would tack that on. I don't know, I'm going pure grass type. Now, Sachi would be a grass dark type because he uses vines, which is very grass-like and everything, but he uses it with this spell, this like forbidden spell that cost him his eye. So I feel like these vines aren't just like grass vines, they're also like a dark vine. These vines that came from like this horrible place. I don't know, like I just imagine him being, you know, he's using this spell to create the vines. I feel like, I don't know, those two things kind of go together. The dark typing in Pokemon always is associated with like malice, you know, or like mischievousness. So I don't know, I just felt like that fit. Let's talk about White for a second. I think White would be a fairy dark type or a fairy poison type because, you know, he's got a poisonous personality or whatever, but I gotta give him the fairy typing. I could even see him maybe being like a pure fairy, but I think fairy dark. I think I gotta give him fairy dark because, again, the malicious intent or whatever, but of course, all of his techniques are so, it's like a mix between glorious and horrific, and I think that's that perfect mixture of like a fairy and a dark type coming together. Hockney would be a pure psychic type. He can see the freaking future. He's got the lantern and everything. Hockney being a psychic type makes sense. Mata would be a bug type because Mata is a parasite. I'm not gonna lie, the only reason I put Mata on this list was I was like, we gotta have a bug type, and who else would be a bug but Mata? He's literally a parasite. I don't have this person on my list, but if Rachel was a Pokemon, Rachel would be a pure poison type. I'm pretty sure we can all agree Rachel would be a pure poison type. Not much thought required. I was trying to think of other people like the 10 Family Heads or Calavan and people like that. I have some ideas, but I wasn't able to really come to a solid conclusion because honestly, of course, Pokemon only has what, like 17 or 18 types? I think 18 now. So it's like, it's hard to put everybody into those categories, but I'm sure that you could, and that's why I would love to hear your thoughts, because I'm sure you Pokemon fans out there would have a good idea about what, Jihad or Gustang or Uric, like what could their typings be? Even Yuri, I was kind of struggling with Yuri a little bit, so let me know in the comments who you think the other characters could be or what typings you think they could have. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what other kinds of videos you want to see. There are some people commenting what they want to see, but I want to hear more. I want to hear feedback because I'm trying to figure out what you want to see on the channel, because my channel, it's a mixture of like what I want to do and what I enjoy doing. So a lot of my videos, I just have fun doing them. But of course, I also want to make videos that you all want to see, genuinely you want me to make. So let me know in the comments. I'll be reading all the comments because I genuinely want to know. And with that being said, I will see you in my next Tower of God discussion video. Take care.